My name is Daniel Lewis, and I am an instructor of music here at CCBC, and in that role I direct the 4-semester sequence of music theory and ear training courses. Education was definitely something where I thought it fit my personal habits well. It fit my interest in academia and in sort of a lifelong learning, and it's just one of these great ways for a musician to be able to have a solid job and also maintain a creative side of their life too. So throughout my school, all of my training, I knew that being a college educator was something I was interested in. And in doing that, I made sure that while I was working with all of my teachers along the way, I tried to put myself in positions where I could participate in the teaching. So whether it was an informal teaching assistant situation or just sort of a tutoring amongst friends situation, I made sure that I got that element of my skill set developed as early as I could. The things that does stand out to me about interacting with students, especially as the music program is concerned, and this might be somewhat of a biased, prideful answer, but I think there's a real beauty in how music and all of the arts force the teacher to be in the act of creating with the student. There's a lot of disciplines where your teacher might give you, a problem to work on or might instruct you in the content of the class, but when it comes time to actually make product, to do something, there's a big separation between the instructor and the student. Music affords us this amazing opportunity to not only instruct the students in how to create this art, but then also many times to actually perform with them and to perform alongside them and to make the music together. I find it a very honest way and a very realistic way that represents the world of arts. I had a teacher when I was in grad school who would always say to us, the thing that you always need to remember is that the only difference between you and me is that I could play a concert tomorrow and you couldn't. It's not that I'm better than you, it's that I'm just more ready. And I try to make that a part of my interactions with students by showing them, we're going to do this together. I am playing on a concert with you, and that's real life. That's real life as a musician. There's no difference between us. It's just who's got the music ready and who doesn't. And right now, both of us do.
We're so glad you could join us today.
So here at CCBC, our music program is really lucky to have a Friday afternoon concert series, which we call Music Forum, which is a mixture of outside professional acts that are either coming through the area or call Baltimore home, and student recitals in various styles. And so every Friday in the semester, we have some kind of performance or maybe a workshop led by a faculty member. I find it to be just the most enriching way to end the week. Everybody is so tired by the end of a long, hard week of practicing and doing any other, outside music things or just taking notes in my classes. It's very nice to come together at the end of the week and just enjoy a really great concert with musicians that showcase what it looks like to have a life in music. And I think it's so crucial for our students to see that this is the kind of level you need to aim for. That you can't only look at, oh, I may be the best clarinet player here or whatever. You need to say, okay, it's not good enough to be at this level, at CCBC level. I need to always think about the wider world. Because at the end of the day, what nobody really cares to see your name, comma, student. They want to see Daniel Lewis, guitar. They don't care where you came from, who you are. And so seeing these acts come through is such an enriching part of the experience for our students. When I was in college, the only concerts that I saw were other student recitals. And it gives you somewhat of a, on campus at least, it gives you a somewhat closed view of what the musical world looks like. But we do also offer student recitals, and it's such a great opportunity for our students to have to put their money where their mouth is on the same stage that these other tremendous musicians have been playing, have been performing, have been sharing their art, our students can get up and do the exact same thing. And it is there to reinforce the whole community of how important it is to always be doing. Be listening, be doing, be active as a musician. And every Friday afternoon, you get a chance to do that in full force. So talking about what music means to me is somewhat of an interesting question, because I think the beauty of music in our lives is that it has somewhat of an intangible element where we can almost put our finger on what makes it so effective and why it has touched humanity for millennia. But as soon as we think we've got it figured out, we're sort of almost left with more of a question than we began with. And that, to me, that pursuit of why does this sound affect me in this way is this amazing continuous journey. And why is it that I can hear this same exact sound in a different context or on a different instrument or in a different piece or in a different style, and it can get you the same way it did the very, very first time. And even if you're lucky, it can affect you more than it did the first time. This continuously deepening, expressive craziness.